The Knight and the Wizard. In the kingdom of Brindlewick, where crooked rooftops leaned like sleepy old men and every street seemed to smell faintly of fresh bread, there lived a young knight named Cedric. Unlike the legendary heroes from songs, Cedric wasn't particularly famous. His armor squeaked when he walked, his horse was terrified of ducks, and he once lost a fencing match against a baker carrying a loaf of bread. Still, he dreamed of becoming a true hero. One rainy afternoon, while wandering through the town market, Cedric noticed a crowd gathered around a tall stone tower. Green smoke puffed from its windows, strange lights flashed from inside, and every few seconds a loud bang echoed through the streets. The wizard's at it again, a merchant sighed. Curious, Cedric approached the tower and knocked on the crooked wooden door. Instantly, the door swung open by itself. Inside stood the town wizard, Archibald the Astonishing, a man with a beard so long it occasionally got tangled in furniture. At that very moment, Archibald was hanging upside down from the ceiling. "Perfect timing," shouted the wizard. "I require assistance." Cedric stared. "Shouldn't we get you down first?" "No time," Archibald replied. "I've nearly perfected the greatest elixir in history." Cedric looked around the room. Bottles bubbled. Books floated through the air. A pumpkin wore spectacles and appeared to be reading a newspaper. "What does this elixir do?" Cedric asked. The wizard grinned. "That's the exciting part. I have absolutely no idea." Cedric blinked. "You don't know?" "Not exactly. It should grant either incredible luck, magnificent wisdom, the ability to speak to squirrels, or possibly all three." Before Cedric could respond, a small explosion launched glitter across the room. Archibald finally untangled himself from the ceiling and landed on a chair. "Unfortunately," he said, brushing glitter from his beard, "I'm missing 3 rare ingredients." Cedric immediately straightened. "A quest? A quest," Archibald confirmed. "Bring me a moon-cap mushroom from Whispering Woods, a feather of the golden goose of Lake Merriweather, and a crystal berry from Frostfang Hill." Cedric smiled. At last, a real adventure. The search for ingredients. The next morning, Cedric set off. His horse, Pickles, seemed less enthusiastic. By noon, they reached Whispering Woods, a forest famous for talking trees. Almost immediately, a large oak called out, "You're going the wrong way." "No, I'm not," Cedric replied. "You absolutely are," said another tree. "We're trees. We live here. We would know." After receiving directions from several surprisingly argumentative trees, Cedric located a glowing moon-cap mushroom beneath a fallen log. Just as he reached for it, a rabbit wearing a tiny blue hat hopped into his path. "Password?" asked the rabbit. Cedric stared. "There's a password?" "Of course." "I don't know the password." The rabbit considered this. "Reasonable. Nobody ever does." Then it hopped aside and allowed him to take the mushroom. His next destination was Lake Merriweather. Finding the golden goose proved easy. Catching it proved impossible. The magnificent bird sprinted across the shoreline at astonishing speed, while Cedric chased after it. For nearly an hour, the goose dodged every attempt to catch it. Eventually it stopped, plucked one of its own golden feathers, dropped it at Cedric's feet, and looked disappointed. "You know," said Cedric while catching his breath, "you could have done that earlier." The goose honked smugly before walking away. Finally, Cedric climbed Frostfang Hill. Unfortunately, a grumpy troll guarded them. "Nobody takes berries," growled the troll. Cedric raised his sword. The troll raised a club. They stared at one another for several seconds. Then the troll's stomach growled loudly. "Actually," the troll admitted, "I'm hungry." Cedric shared his lunch. 30 minutes later, the troll happily handed over a crystal berry and even gave directions back to town. "You're much nicer than most heroes," the troll said. "You're much nicer than most trolls," Cedric replied. Both agreed this was fair. The elixir. 3 days later, Cedric returned to Archibald's tower carrying all 3 ingredients. The wizard nearly cried with joy. "Magnificent," he shouted. "Now we begin." They spent hours brewing the potion. The mooncap mushroom was sliced into silver flakes. The golden goose feather was stirred into the mixture. The crystal berry dissolved into sparkling blue light. The cauldron bubbled. Thunder rattled the windows. Green smoke filled the tower. The pumpkin removed its spectacles and hid behind a chair. Finally, the potion was complete. It glowed with every color imaginable. Cedric and Archibald stared at it nervously. "Who drinks it?" Cedric asked. Archibald immediately pointed at Cedric. "The brave knight, obviously." "Convenient." Taking a deep breath, Cedric drank the elixir. Nothing happened. He blinked. Archibald blinked. Several awkward seconds passed. Then a squirrel climbed through the window. "Good afternoon," said the squirrel. Cedric nearly fell over. "You can talk?" "We've always been able to talk," replied the squirrel. "Humans are usually the problem." Suddenly, dozens of squirrels appeared outside. They all began talking at once. They discussed acorn economics, bird politics, and a long-running dispute involving a missing walnut. Cedric could understand every word. Archibald burst into laughter. The elixir worked. Soon people travelled from distant villages seeking the knight who could speak with animals. Cedric never became the greatest swordsman in the kingdom, but he did become its most unusual hero. And every so often, when a strange problem appeared, he and Archibald would brew another mysterious elixir. Usually it worked. Usually. Once it turned a cabbage invisible for 6 weeks, and nobody ever figured out why.